You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to N2K Cyberwire's Hacking Humans podcast, where each week we look behind the social engineering scams, phishing schemes, and criminal exploits that are making headlines and taking a heavy toll on organizations around the world. I'm Dave Bittner, and joining me is Joe Kerrigan. Hey there, Joe.
Hi, Dave.
And our N2K colleague and host of the T-Minus Space Daily podcast, Maria Vermazis. Maria.
Hi, Dave, and hi, Joe.
We've got some good stories to share this week. And first of all, let me just say, welcome back to both of you.
Yeah, sorry, Dave.
Wait, you were out too?
Yes.
I was, yeah.
There's kind of
I was planning on being there.
Yeah.
But then, something...
Joe has this thing called a career.
Right.
And it's unlike you and me, Maria, his career does not focus around recording podcasts.
I try to make it so it does. I try to block this time out so I can be here.
Yeah.
It's very important to me.
How dare you, sir?
90% of the time that works out, but every now and then, Joe's an important person. He's dealing with issues of national security and
I don't know if all that's true.
Sometimes the president calls him into the Oval Office and says, Joe,
Dave, come on, man. I'm trying to keep my employment with the Trump administration on the down low.
You're canceled, Joe. You're done.
Yeah, there you go.
I do not work for the Trump administration.
No, you do not. You do not. All right, let's do some follow-up here. First of all, before we dig into listener follow-up or anything like that, Joe, you have a new Facebook profile.
I do. This was taken just a couple of days ago at my daughter's house at the chicken coop, and I grabbed one of the chickens and I picked her up and I was holding her, and my daughter was there, and she goes, I'm going to take a picture of you in portrait mode, and you can make this your new profile pic. So I struck a pose.
Yes.
Looking very stately, I think.
You're looking wistfully off to the distance.
My goodness.
Held the chicken and held the pose, and my daughter snapped a picture of me that's actually not one that I look and go, man, I look like a big fat guy in this picture. So
you look good.
Yeah. The chicken is comfortable. She was very nice. Actually, once I held her and once I got her comfortable, she didn't want me to put her down. She was loving it.
Huh.
It's nice.
Aww.
What kind of chicken is that?
This is a Wyandotte.
Okay.
They're not laying yet. They're all Wyandottes.
Okay.
But the roosters, the two roosters are still in the garage. They're getting bigger. And soon they'll be ready to go out here with the ladies to protect them from would-be predators.
Right. Now, have there been any signs of would-be predators sniffing around?
Well, the insider threat is still around.
Okay.
This is the dog that killed the last batch of chickens.
Oh, I see. Sure.
She took a charge at one of the chickens while I was in the coop and just smashed her face into the hardware cloth we have on the side of the coop.
Oh.
And, looked really stupid.
Yeah.
After doing that, like, I can't believe I did that.
Oh, man.
That must have hurt. My goodness. That stuff's not,
My daughter is saying that the dogs are always around there peeing on the ground, so she thinks that's going to keep, like, foxes and coyotes away. I hope it does. I don't know that it does. It certainly does not keep groundhogs away. I will tell you that right now. They've got a groundhog.
Nothing keeps groundhogs away.
Yeah. Groundhogs fear no man or dog, no man nor beast.
True. This is true.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's a very regal picture of you, Joe, honestly. Like, and the perspective is really nice with the hardware cloth, like giving that really nice vanishing point perspective. It's very cool. I never thought I'd say someone holding a chicken would be really cool.
No.
It's a cool photo of you.
Yeah.
Two people made similar comments on the photo. One of them said, I thought you were a free range Joe because I'm actually inside the coop, and another hashtag free Joe.
That's right. Right. So what happens when Joe's got a disagreement with Lisa? He goes and it's a euphemism in the Kerrigan house.
Right.
Joe spends a little time out in the chicken coop.
Not the doghouse, the chicken
Not
coop.
the doghouse. That's right.
Go cool down and enjoy some eggs.
Right.
Yeah.
So the doghouse is the big house that we live in, because the dogs have a nice, comfortable bed to lay on, and they share it with me when I go to bed. It's nice.
Yeah. All right, we've got some other follow-up here, Joe. What do we got?
So a couple weeks ago, I can't remember who it was that had this story, but one of us had the story about the Arizona woman who was indicted for helping North Koreans fake that they were in the United States, and then these guys funneled $17 million to North Korea.
Yeah.
And she has been sentenced for her role in this to 8.5 years in prison.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that's there's some closure on that story.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Well,
She's 50. She'll be 58 and a half when she gets out.
okay.
Possibly 59.
Some justice done.
Yep.
All right. Well, of course, we would like to hear from you, our listeners. If there's something you'd like us to consider for the show, you can email us. It is hackinghumans@n2k.com. And now, a word from our sponsor, ThreatLocker, the powerful zero-trust enterprise solution that stops ransomware in its tracks. Allow Listing is a deny-by-default software that makes application control simple and fast. Ring fencing is an application containment strategy, ensuring apps can only access the files, registry keys, network resources, and other applications they truly need to function. Shut out cybercriminals with world-class endpoint protection from ThreatLocker. So I'm going to kick things off with our stories this week. And this, there's no link to this because this is a personal story.
Okay.
And friends, I went down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
I was chasing a wild hare. I'm doing what I do on Facebook, which is what, Joe? What do I do on Facebook?
Doom scroll, Dave.
What else?
And you also report the ads that you see.
Okay, one more thing. You'll get there. You'll get there.
You comment on my pictures. You were the first one to comment on this new picture, by the way.
I was minding my own business, Joe.
You're minding your own. That's right. Minding your own business. Sorry.
Right.
Minding my own business. Walking down the street.
Right. Just scrolling through Facebook, minding my own business. And something comes by on my Facebook feed, and it is a sponsored post from an individual, and it is someone with a way to get yourself a free or nearly free Yeti cooler. Okay. Now, we're familiar, for folks who may not be familiar with Yeti coolers or cups
Cult of Yeti.
or...
Yep.
Yeah, it's a brand of insulated products.
And they're very well insulated.
Yes.
But they are not cheap.
No.
Yeah, for
It is
some
a
reason in America,
premium
we
brand.
really like our insulated cups, like Stanley's, Yetis,
Mhm.
you name it. There's all these different brands. We love them. I don't get why, but it's our thing.
Right. And they make backpacks, they make coolers, and it is a premium brand, so they are not cheap. And so they're also desirable. It's a well-known brand. People like them, all that good stuff. So this particular ad that scrolled by that caught my eye, it reads like this. It says, this is from someone who claims to be Ava Davis. It says, my father dedicated 7 years of his life to Dick's Sporting Goods store, and when he turned 50, they fired him, threw him out like a rag. So I want to share something that only employees and their families know. There's a loophole in the store's website where you can get a Yeti hopper for almost free. You just need to answer a few questions, leave a review, and the backpack is yours. They don't advertise this because they want only employees to use the offer. I have nothing to lose anymore, so I'll post the link in the comments. Answer the questions and get your Yeti backpack. If you want, you can share it with your friends too. Maybe it's not completely right, but please try to understand me. It's unfair for the company to act like this. Okay.
Rage bait.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we
Okay.
all want to put one over on the man, right?
Yeah.
I
Stick
got
it to
nothing
him.
left to lose. Here's a Yeti
Yeah.
cooler.
I got
that
nothing left
follows.
to use. I'm sharing a discount code on a Yeti cooler.
That'll show him.
Yeah, that's right.
Stick it to him.
Oh,
Stick it to
yeah.
the Yeti.
yeah, yeah.
That's the last thing I want to stick anything to.
Ava led a simple life, but when the time came, she stuck it to the Yeti and to Dick's Sporting Goods. So
It's better than saying, yeah.
this
stick to
set
the
off
Dick,
my
never mind.
radar just a little bit. And I thought to myself, okay, first of all, why is this a sponsored post, right? Why would someone be paying money to put this in front of me if it's just an individual sharing their good fortune of having this discount code on this Yeti cooler? So I click through on this profile and I see that this person has 0 friends and 0 followers.
Is it a new profile?
Don't know, but they list their profession as a digital creator. There are a few family photos, and then all the rest is pictures of Yeti products. Okay.
That tracks. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do myself a little search on Facebook for free Yeti cooler. All right. So I come across the pre-mentioned Ava Davis is one. I come across Emily Johnson. Emily Johnson also 0 likes, 0 followers. And in her profile, my father dedicated 7 years of his life to Dick's Sporting Goods store. When he turned 50, they fired him, threw him out like a rag. So the
Like a
exact
rag.
same, like a rag.
Like a rag.
Everybody gets thrown out of Dick's like a rag, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a rag.
Huh.
Found another one. This is Charity Allen. She has slightly different angle here. Do not purchase a Yeti Camino because my husband works at Yeti and told me most people don't know that if they answer a short survey, they can get a cooler bag. I've already checked it out and received my bag. I've attached a picture. I'll leave a link in the comments. He sent it. You can fill out the survey.
Are they the same pictures?
No, it's a different product, different
Okay.
Yeti product.
Okay.
Okay. So before I dig into my unpacking of this, let me ask both of you in turn, what do you think's going on here?
What do I think the end game is here?
Yeah, so let's just base level and all agree this is a scam.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
A scam. It is a scam.
Yeah.
100% a scam.
Okay.
How do they scam you? How do they get you?
What do you think the scam is? What do you think's going on here? Why are they doing this?
I think you enter a bunch of information on a survey site, which is just a way that they can then monetize that by selling the data. And then you also, they may also contact you and say, hey, we're getting ready to send you a Yeti cooler, but I need you to send me the $25 fee or something like that. Or because it's not saying that it's free, it's saying that it's really reduced price. Now, a Yeti, I know my 20-ounce tumbler was like $40.
Yeah.
Right? So if they're selling this cooler for which they typically go for $200, that's where they start. If they're going to give that to you for $25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think you're getting a good deal, maybe that's the scam. They're just going to make $25 off you.
Yeah. Maria?
I had 2 thoughts on this. One was that maybe it could be a way to AstroTurf reviews if it was asking for a review, but it's not. I did not click the link. You'll be very proud of me. I did not click it.
Oh, Maria.
I know. But I did look at the URL. I'm just looking at it. I'm not clicking it. And it's one of those very spammy looking quiz websites that could where they usually have a gajillion ads on it, and I'm sure the ads are all very malicious and do all sorts of nasty stuff. So I'm not clicking it. So yeah, it's to me it just smells like an AstroTurfing basically. But it is interesting. The Facebook profiles that you mentioned, the addresses they all show are all for major metropolitan areas, like New York City specifically, or Austin, Texas, or Toronto. They're being very generic. I don't think they're even really trying to hide this. It seems very low effort.
Right.
Just,
so can I tell you something that I have found that is almost identical? The scam is almost, I don't know if it's an identical scam, but it's almost an identical thing that's happening.
Okay.
Dave and I, Maria, we're both now amateur radio operators at the general level, which means we have a lot more operating privileges than I have had for the past 10 years. Dave was my inspiration for going out and getting my general license, by the way.
Yeah.
Congrats,
I did it.
though. That's cool.
I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
when are you getting your Yeti cooler?
Right. I don't have anything that I can use to communicate, to use my general privileges, right? So I don't have an HF transceiver. All I have are 2 little VHF, UHF transceivers that I can already use as a technician.
Right.
So I need to go out and get a new high frequency transceiver, and I'm cheap. So the first place I go to look for it is Facebook Marketplace, and I just type in HF transceiver, and I do local, and all it is ad after ad after ad after ad, pages of it for the, I'm going to say this wrong, ZIEQ? ZIEQ.
Yeah, yeah. I would have had it if you hadn't said it.
Right. It's a Chinese radio.
Right.
It's an SDR, software-defined radio, and it's the model number X6200.
Okay.
If you look this up online, and you can find them online, it is a real radio.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of people talking about how good they are, despite the fact that they cost around $400.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
They're selling all over this site for $96. Every single ad is for $96.
Yeah.
It's all scams.
Oddly specific. Yes.
Oddly specific, right.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing you did. I went down the same rabbit hole. I started clicking on the ads and seeing who was posting it. And it was somebody that just joined Facebook,
Right.
which is why I asked that question.
Yeah. So, Maria, you are on the right track here. I did the same thing that you did. I started looking at all the URLs for these, and they're all spammy URLs. None of them actually go to Yeti, right? So they're like the one I'm looking at right now is promo-official.pro, and so they go to these survey sites, these coupon sites. I don't know if the people who are running this get some kind of payoff for every person who clicks through. That's possible. Certainly for everyone who signs up to get the Yeti bag. Now let's keep in mind, nothing is truly free. So the $10 you're paying or whatever, you're giving them some kind of payment information.
Mm-hmm.
So you're putting that at risk. The other thing I noticed in here is when you go through the comments on a lot of these, you'll see other people saying, I was skeptical, but I did it and it works. I got my bag last week.
Right.
And if you click through on those people, they're the same people.
It's the same network of people.
Right. Same people, 0 followers, 0 friends, 0 integrity.
Right.
So, but to a casual viewer, you could see how this would be attractive because it is a good deal on something. And they're pressing all sorts of emotional buttons, right? Like I listen, hey, everybody, here's a secret.
Right.
I have an insider bit of information that not everyone has that I'm going to share with you. And then so you look at that and you think, oh, I'm going to get this thing for cheap. And then you look through the comments and you say, well, gosh, other people are saying that they've gotten this, so it must be legit. And I'm willing to bet it ain't.
No.
Yeah, because insider deals are famously blasted publicly on Facebook all the time, right?
Right.
Right.
Definitely, this is where the exclusive information goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yet people fall for it all the time. And Yeti.
See what I did there?
I do.
Yes.
It is very
Bravo,
frustrating
bravo.
to me the degree to which Facebook does not tamp down on these things.
Yeah.
Because
These are not even trying. That's the thing that's amazing. You can tell instantly these profiles are scammy because they, as you said, no followers, no friends, 1 or 2 photos that I'm sure were stolen from a legitimate profile. And I for fun, I looked at some of them. They actually have a street address thing as their actual address. Did you click through any of these? Because one of them goes directly to the Museum of Jurassic History in Los Angeles.
Ah.
I was like, there's no effort being put here. This is like such an obvious scam. And yet, when I was, I think I mentioned this to you all a few months ago when I had to rejoin Facebook. Maybe I only mentioned this to my husband. I can't remember who I told. I didn't want to make a brand new profile. I didn't want to make a legitimate profile, rather. I wanted to make a brand new profile that was just fake because I wasn't going to use it to contact friends or anything. I was just trying to read my town's news, and that was it. And Facebook wouldn't let me. It's like, no, you're clearly fake. We know that you're a real person. You need to use your real name. It's like, I just wanted to be anonymous just to read an article. I can't believe that they're forcing me to use real info. And yet these scammers are clearly better at it than I was.
Right,
so I need to put my address as the Museum of Jurassic History in Los Angeles. And jeez.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. All right. So I put it all out there just as a little bit of warning to our listeners, spread the word for these sorts of scams. Like to Joe's point, there are dozens of these, probably hundreds of these. If there's something that you're interested in, somebody's running this kind of scan about that type of thing.
Yes.
They're just, there's no escaping them. But so for me, the initial red flag was the fact that this was a sponsored post coming from an individual.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's so many other red flags of this being a scam, just if you dig in the tiniest little bit. So beware. If you're curious, if you want to check these out, just go on Facebook and do a search for Yeti cooler, free Yeti cooler, and you'll find they'll just pop up all over the place.
Or HF transceiver.
There you go. All right. That's my story this week. Maria, you're up next. What do you got for us?
Well, I've got one that's a bit geopolitical. And admittedly, my angle for this is that I live next to one of the cities with the largest Cambodian diaspora in the United States. I live next to the city of Lowell. So there's a large Cambodian population and always has been as long as I've been alive. And there has been an armed conflict between Thailand and Cambodia that has flared up in the recent weeks, if not months. And there's a reason I'm talking about this on this show. So just for context for people who don't know about this conflict or aren't up to date, the armed conflict that has sort of reignited between these two nations has currently left about 33 people dead and forced tens of thousands of civilians to flee their homes. And this is happening along a contested border between these two countries. As of the time of this recording, the two nations are in a ceasefire, with Thailand saying Cambodia is not honoring the ceasefire, and Cambodia says this is not true. So that's the current state of things. The BBC is saying that, well, this flare up in the conflict that has been lethal now and then for decades started in 2008 when Cambodia tried to lay claim to an 11th century temple in the disputed border area that aggravated things further with Thailand. But there was an article that I just saw on the Register that says a lot of what's actually really fueling what's going on right now in this escalation is actually related to Cambodia's scam compound industry, which we have talked about many times on this show about people being basically enslaved in these scam compounds and calling people in these like phone banks, not just all over Asia, but really all over the world. So a reminder about some of the stats on this. Cambodia is home to cyber scam slave camps where at least over 100,000 traffic victims are forced to run romance and investment frauds, which we cover a lot on this show. And many of these scam centers actually operate very close to this contested border region. So in the recent months, Thai officials have been threatening to cut off electricity and internet to parts of Cambodia to disrupt these operations specifically. But Cambodia says this cutoff is actually in aid of Thailand's border ambitions, nothing altruistic there about stopping the scams. So add into this mix China, because it's a huge global player, especially in that region.
Just about to say that.
Yeah, it's like
I did a story a couple of weeks ago about China working with Thailand to do exactly that, cut off the power and the internet service.
Yes, I remember. Yep. I was just thinking of that when I was reading this story. I was thinking that one of us covered it. I couldn't remember if it was you, Joe, but yes, exactly. So as I think you mentioned at the time, Thai operations are getting support officially from the Chinese government to cut off these scams in Cambodia that are being run in Cambodia. But flip side, Chinese organized crime is running a lot of those scam centers in Cambodia. And they're actually also trafficking kidnapped Chinese citizens. So it's very messy all around. So there was this really interesting quote from an analyst named Angela Suryanesi, who is a researcher at the Australian Strategic Policy Institute. And she said, while not a direct trigger, Thailand's parallel efforts to counter transnational cyber scam activities operating near the border may have contributed to the broader strategic environment in which this conflict escalated. These efforts may have contributed to a broader climate of mistrust and friction between the two governments, which that makes a lot of sense to me, honestly. Especially, I didn't know about the actual financials of this, or maybe I've forgotten because my brain is Swiss cheese. But according to one estimate, the scam centers, scam slave centers, really, I don't want to euphemize these or euphemize. I don't want to use euphemisms for what is slavery. I mean, truly.
Right. It is slavery.
Yeah. These call centers are generating an estimated $12.5 billion annually, which is half of Cambodia's GDP. And the main opposition leader for Cambodia's government, their opposition in exile, says that apparently the Cambodian government is also pocketing a lot of these profits, although allegations are ongoing. So your mileage may vary on that one. But this story from the Register I thought was really important and something that felt natural for us to just talk about, given how many times we cover these scams on the show. And it just really was sad and that these scams that are enslaving people, causing so much heartbreak and turmoil around the world, not to mention the financial losses, I mean, that they're actually contributing to armed conflict where people are being killed also. I mean, it can be really easy to forget the stakes, but this is real life and death. And it's just like, wow, I don't know. I just wanted to make sure I brought it up on the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's serious stuff. And I think, to your point, you don't often think about, where everything flows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the source of these things are.
Yeah. You get a call on your phone that's somebody scamming you. It might be somebody down the street, but it might be somebody on the other side of the world who's trapped in a call center and
Yeah,
has no choice.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
It's horrific. And then a little footnote to this, since we were just talking about Facebook, social media like Facebook is certainly involved in all this as well, as we've frequently covered, because many of the victims who've been trafficked in these call centers were initially found on social media platforms. So there is a whole flow. You can just sort of watch the whole flow from social media platforms all the way through an armed conflict where people are dying. It's like wild if you really think about that sort of domino effect. But it might sound hyperbolic to say that, but I think in this case it's not. It's true. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think just to reiterate this scenario, because we talked about this here before, and I want to say it was probably before, Maria, you were joining us on a regular basis, how people get lured to these places with promises of good jobs,
Yeah.
good,
Yep.
well-paying jobs, and then they get there and there is no job, and they're kept there. They've crossed a border, their passport is taken away, and they're kept there under the threat of violence.
Or directly like beaten if they try to leave, or
Right.
families
Yeah.
threatened, the whole thing.
Right.
So
They have guns in
horrific,
these
horrific.
places to keep you in line.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think, the good news is that we are seeing crackdowns on a lot of this stuff. I don't know to what degree, like, the Cambodian government is merely paying lip service to this. As you said, Maria, there's a lot of opportunity for grift and that sort of thing when you have
Half their GDP.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, a huge
Whew.
business like this where there's so much
Yep.
money
Yeah.
flowing around. There's probably lots of people who are highly incentivized to keep it running, which I imagine it takes to even build it in the first place.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Horrific. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will have a link to that story in the show notes. I tell you what, let's take a quick break to hear from our sponsor. We will be right back. And now, back to our sponsor, ThreatLocker, the powerful zero-trust enterprise solution that stops ransomware in its tracks. ThreatLocker Protect is the core ThreatLocker product focused on endpoint security, designed to prevent unauthorized software from running, control how applications interact, and manage access to storage devices. Its building blocks are allow listing, ring fencing, and network control. Allow listing is a deny-by-default software that makes application control simple and fast. Ring fencing is an application containment strategy, ensuring apps can only access the system resources they truly need to function. Network control locks down access by port, source IP, or dynamically with ACLs that automatically update as IP addresses change. Shut out cybercriminals with world-class endpoint protection from ThreatLocker. And we thank ThreatLocker for sponsoring Hacking Humans. And we are back. Joe, you are up. What do you got for us?
Well, my story comes from Chamomile. I hope I'm saying that right. Shumba. And I'm pretty sure I got that one. Chamomile Shumba from CoinDesk. And this comes via the finance.yahoo.com page.
Okay.
So it's the Yahoo Finance page. There is a grand jury in Denver, Colorado that has indicted Eli Regalado and his wife, Caitlin. Now, it's important to note that they are preachers at the Victoria Grace Church. And the indictment alleges that between 2022 and 2023, these two allegedly solicited nearly $3.4 million from investors looking to buy their index coin cryptocurrency from Kingdom Wealth Exchange. Okay, so already, go ahead.
Sorry, there's a lot.
Okay.
There are a lot of names and just what?
Right. So already we're into confusion here, right? I don't know if this index coin it's INDX coin.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a thing that cryptocurrency crypto bros do, right? They'll make an index coin.
Kingdom Wealth Exchange?
Right. Kingdom Wealth Exchange. That's
Is this
their...
like Christian...
Yes. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Ooh.
They have been charged with 40 counts of theft, fraud, deceit for allegedly operating this multi-million-dollar cryptocurrency scam that mostly targeted churches. So the index coin,
God.
I guess this is their own cryptocurrency or their own crypto token or something, but it says the article talks about the index coin white paper because every cryptocurrency begins with a white paper, right? In fact, Bitcoin started with a white paper. But it states that this coin was, quote, engineered to grow as the cryptocurrency market explodes by benchmarking the coin to the world's top 100 cryptocurrencies, allowing users to capitalize on growth while mitigating risk.
Yeah. And you have an opportunity to get in on the ground floor.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Nothing scammy about this at all. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're building this crypto coin, this index coin, and we're what's interesting is they're benchmarking it, right? Benchmarking the world's top 100 cryptocurrencies. Sounds like they're trying to like peg it to something.
Yeah.
Like there are cryptocurrencies out there like stablecoin. Stablecoin will always be worth $1. And it takes some effort to do that. And I'm not entirely sure how they do it.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, when you start saying that we're going to be pegging this value to something else, unless you're going to go out and buy something, like you're going to do a cryptocurrency mutual fund kind of thing, but you're going to have it as your own coin, then the index coin could very well have almost no value. And in fact, that's kind of what the indictment says.
Yeah.
The couple targeted Christians from their church as well as other churches to buy their cryptocurrency. They were promising, of course, big returns, like you said, Dave.
Yeah.
The indictment also says that these two spent $1.3 million of the proceeds of on the token sales on personal expenditures like home renovations.
Okay.
Right? Eli and Caitlin deceived prospective and current investors and did not disclose to them that they lacked the liquidity. So that's actual money.
Right.
Right. That,
to back up this magical coin.
Right. So, I mean, I guess if you're going to, I don't know, maybe if you actually have real money behind something or you actually go out and buy real cryptocurrency with it, then you have something. But the indictment does say that this was not pegged to the value or to the average of the top 100 cryptocurrencies, but instead backed essentially by no assets whatsoever and had no real value.
Right.
So a year ago, the commissioner of the Colorado Securities Organization, the Colorado Securities Commissioner, his name is Tung Chen, initially filed charges against the pair. And in March, the pastor appeared in a video. In a message, he stated the charges are true. And he also said at the time that the venture was something he believes God told him to do. And here we get to my favorite quote of this article.
No.
And it's from the video that Eli posted in March. The Lord told us to walk away from our parking company. He took us into this cryptocurrency. Well, that cryptocurrency turned out to be a scam. And I said to the Lord, you told me to do this.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So I guess God's ultimately the scammer here?
It goes all the way to the top, Joe.
Right.
Yeah, right.
These are not words I would like to be accountable for one day.
Taken wildly out of context, Joe, you are in some serious trouble.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my point here is that this is one of the things we talk about a lot on this show, and that is that your religious community, your faith-based community, comes with some already built-in trust.
Right.
Right. And these people exploited that like crazy.
Yeah.
And made off with 3.x number of $1 million from these other churches and other Christian investors.
Right.
This is not. I'm sure this is not unique. I know this is not unique to Christians. We'll put a link in the show notes. There was one that happened last year. Actually, this was another Christian pastor in Florida that was indicted for a multi-million-dollar cryptocurrency scam. And that post is from the Department of Justice. So he was indicted federally. This is one of those things that sets me off. And I've mentioned this before. It's one of the things that I have built into me, into my level of distrust about other people. And that is whenever somebody approaches me and tries to demonstrate their membership in some spiritual community with me, I am instantly suspicious of that.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly.
So let me interrupt you here, because let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
I'll put it in front of both of you, but I'll start with you, Joe.
Okay.
What is your reaction when someone in good faith says to you, in describing another person, that person is a good Christian?
Depends on who's saying it.
The first thing I remember to myself is, hey, every single person is not perfect.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
The fact, and I say that I think that to myself. Normally what I just do is, oh, that's good to know. But I don't give it any credence. I really don't, because that could be, I don't know if that's why. I don't know. I've seen this go both ways. I've seen people, I was in a church community once where a guy just up and left his wife.
Yeah.
And there was no explanation as to why that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was like, isn't that awful? And I'm like, there's more to this story here than we know. Yeah. All we have is the information that he's gone. And we can't get his story. He's not talking to anybody.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is. I mean, you're right. He could be a complete, a complete heel here, but I don't know. So, when those kind of things come, I'm initially skeptical of that. When people tell me that guy's a good Christian, I'm like, oh, okay, good. Good that you think that.
Yeah. What do you think, Maria?
Oh, there's, I don't really do anything with that information because it really depends on who the person is who's saying that to me.
Yeah.
I grew up in a Christian community, but that was not really a phrase that people used in Greek Orthodoxy. It's just not really anything that's said.
Right.
So it's sort of like, okay, are you talking about good Christianity the way I understand it, or you understand it? And what does that mean? Does it mean you're dogmatic and you follow a certain dogma, or does it mean something else? So it's just not enough information. So I just kind of don't do anything with that. I go, okay.
Right.
I will wait to find out what that actually means when I get more info.
I guess where I come at it from is that I think it's coded language.
Right.
Right. So it's part of it being an in-group.
Yep.
And I think the person who says that in good faith is saying that this is someone who I believe upholds what I believe to be Christian values. And I think for some people that would be the teachings of Jesus Christ. For some people that would be the values of the church, capital T, capital C, right?
Right.
But the flip side of that, and I think this case brings this to bear, is that someone can take advantage of that trust.
Absolutely.
And so if you have someone, like you said, Joe, these folks these are pastors, so they're probably good communicators. They know what resonates with the people in these churches.
Mm-hmm.
And if they were coming at this in bad faith, as is alleged here, they would know how to short circuit that coded language, to stand in front of a group and say, hey, look, we're all good Christians here, right?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And that has power and it has meaning, and can help short circuit somebody's rational mind when it comes to getting somebody to turn over their hard-earned money.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
we're all good Christians here, but money is money. So please be careful with your money.
Right.
Right. And again, I think the core of this is just whether or not somebody's coming at this in good faith. There's, and that's the unknown. To Joe's point, it can mean so many different things.
Right.
You just never know. And I think part of the problem is one person may say a phrase like that, says, I think this person's a good Christian. And you or me or Joe or Maria might hear that phrase and interpret it in a completely different way.
Correct.
Than the person who said it.
It's very subjective to the listener, isn't it?
It very much is. Yeah. As I said, for me, it invites more questions in my mind, I just go, okay, because it can be very revealing about the person who said it. And also, why are you telling me this? What are you like? What are you hoping for me to reveal by saying that to me? So it's a very interesting question, Dave.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, prayer beware, I guess.
Don't look. If you're in a church and they start pitching a cryptocurrency, probably time to find a new church.
Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like
true.
TLDR of that story.
Instead of passing the collection plate around, we're going to put up this QR code.
Right.
And
then you're going to buy some cryptocurrency.
You know some churures do that, though.
Actually,
they do.
The one I go to actually has Venmo. You can donate via Venmo.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah. Careful there, Dave.
It's been a long time since I've been in a proper church, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm horribly outdated. So apologies to anyone I've offended. All right, we will have a link to this story in the show notes. Joe, Maria, it is time to move on to our catch of the day.
Dave, our catch of the day comes from me.
Oh, no.
Oh,
yeah.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, Dave. I'm gonna let you read the catch of the day, and then we're gonna get into the story behind it.
Okay. Well, this comes from the folks at Xfinity,
right?
Company formerly known as Comcast.
Xfinity is the product that Comcast produces.
Okay, very good. And it says, "Reminder: service interrupted!" ! Your automatic payment was declined by your bank. As a reminder, here's a quick summary of your service suspension. Last day of service, Friday, the 25th of July, 2025. Please make a payment soon to avoid any downgrade quality service. If you don't make a payment within 1 day, we will temporarily turn off your service. And there's a button that says update my account. And then another button that says manage your alerts and pay your bill online. Learn more. Yeah.
Pretty bad fish, right?
Well, I was surprised as I was making my way through it of the grammar errors and something this concise.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You want to know the worst part about this email?
Go on.
It worked.
Oh. Well.
Because I actually do. Notice the last day of service is Friday, July 25th.
Yeah.
Right. So I actually was like, I looked at it and I'm like, I click on the link and it takes me to Verizon Wireless. And I start thinking to myself, or not Verizon Wireless. I'm sorry, that was wrong. It's Xfinity Wireless Services.
Yeah.
And it takes me there and I'm like, I do have that one phone number that was been my phone number for the past 25 years or so, or 22 years. But I can't find the phone that's associated. Do I care if this service is suspended? Okay. Right? Also, there's the issue that they've been charging me too much for this service. They should be charging me a lot less. And I mean, maybe I just let it lapse. And I decide, I better make sure nothing's going on. So I go ahead and I enter I open my password manager. My password manager, not integrated with my web browser, by the way. So it lets me go ahead and enter the password that was in the password manager, which actually, because I'm doing this at a different location, was not in sync with the actual password. So I did not surrender my actual password, I found out.
Lucky. Okay.
So you got lucky.
I got lucky.
Okay.
I got very lucky.
All right.
And then as soon as I enter the email, it says, give us your password. And you can see here, I put in BillyJoeJimBob@youlose.com because I went back to do this again.
Right.
To take pictures of it. And the next screen is just Xfinity, enter your credit card. And I'm like, wait a minute. Then I check the link.
Okay.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Why'd they get me? Why'd they get me? Because they caught me when I had my defenses down. They just so happened to hit me at the right time. They happened to hit me with a bill that I know is due around now.
Mm-hmm.
And they happen to hit me with a service that I use, and I was not paying attention. I let my guard down on this one.
Mm.
And
what did the link end up being?
The link is just a actually, did I leave it here? May not have
I
left
don't
it in
see
here.
it. It was just a bunch of
yeah.
gibberish.
It was a Brazilian website. It ended in .br.
Okay.
And that's when I was like, wait a minute. Oh no. So quickly, I ran to the Comcast website, the actual Comcast website, and changed my password just in case something had happened. And I went back and tested this website and said, if I could put in Billy Joe Jim Bob, and then I put in not my password, sure enough, I just get the same credit card information page.
I see.
So the only thing that tipped me off was when I got to the credit card input page, there was nothing else on the page. The visual nature of it tipped me off. And I was very upset with myself and embarrassed with myself. But if we can have stories about people who come on here and they talk about how they were romance scammed out of millions of dollars, I should be able to come on here and tell my story about when I get hit by a obviously bad phishing email.
Right.
Well, as we talk about it on the show all the time. I mean, nobody's immune from this stuff. I mean, glad that you caught it. Glad that you caught it before it got any worse. But they got lucky, and that's often how it goes.
Yeah,
because I mean, internet's kind of important. So not having internet would make me go, oh, blankety blank. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
Please
don't fish me.
The mobile service, right? Don't fish.
Please don't fish me.
I'm gonna get just
it'll definitely
tons
work. I'll click that link.
Tons of phishing emails to my Yahoo email address where this came from.
I'm thinking that, like if we wanted to have a listener contest or something, we should make it so we should have the social engineer Joe out of his eggs contest.
When he freely gives them to you? Is this really difficult?
Who would be the first person who could convince Joe to part with some of his eggs once his hens start laying in a situation where Joe was not aware that he was being scammed out of eggs, right? Yeah. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
For everyone but Joe.
For everyone but me. I don't like the idea of this.
Can you imagine how paranoid Joe would be if we put that into action? Like, no one in his family would get to eat an egg.
Right. Certainly not my son.
Right.
Can I have an egg, Joe? Can you send one to me?
My Rick-rolling, milk-dropping son.
Yeah. Oh, hilarious.
The story behind that, Maria, is Dave came over to my house one day, and my son had just gotten back from the store and goes to shake Dave's hand and drops a gallon of milk on the floor, which just shatters and spills milk everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Well.
That's all my son remembers about that interaction.
Well.
That's true. I do remember that. There's a lot of milk.
It was.
Yeah, I was like, that is a lot of milk.
Anybody who's dropped a gallon of milk you don't forget it.
No.
We've probably all done it at one time in our life.
I have done it too, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I tell you what, we're going to wrap things up there. Of course, we would love to hear from you. If there's something you'd like us to consider for our catch of the day, please do email us. It's hackinghumans@n2k.com. Thank you to ThreatLocker, the powerful zero-trust enterprise solution that stops ransomware in its tracks, for sponsoring Hacking Humans. Visit threatlocker.com. And that is Hacking Humans, brought to you by N2K Cyberwire. We'd love to hear from you. We're conducting our annual audience survey to learn more about our listeners. We're collecting your insights through the end of this summer. There's a link in the show notes. Please do check it out. This episode is produced by Liz Stokes. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. We're mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester. Peter Kilpie is our publisher. I'm Dave Bittner.
I'm Joe Kerrigan.
And I'm Maria Varmazes.
Thanks for listening.